All right, all right. We are live on Facebook as well as on our YouTube link as we record our ECI, aka the Economic Crisis Initiative meeting, which is on 12721 with beautiful members of our community who are here to share, who are here to empower and encourage all of you to grow. Now, tonight we are going to be introducing some new faces to the place. And I'm so excited because that's what it's all about. And we have great information to share with all of you who are joining us with the ECI. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, earlier this week, I shared on a live platform. And just to let you know, in front of the governor's personnel as well as team, Andrew Governor's team knows about the ECI now. And so does Senator Brian Benjamin's team. I'll talk more about that in just a little bit. In the interim, I would love for you to introduce yourselves. Denise, are you available to introduce yourself, my love?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm in the car, so I'll get my camera going when I actually get in the house
No
when I
problem.
get back home. But thank you for having me. My name is Denise Williams. I am the founder of Limitless 101. My full-time job is helping people get connected with health care, health insurance, and my life passion is basically to go find deeper meaning to help and heal people. So Limitless 101 is my company, and what Limitless 101 provides is transformational life coaching, yoga, meditation, Reiki, nature walks that incorporates all of that, but it incorporates the four elements of nature, which is the sun, fire, air, land, and air. I'm sorry, did I miss one? Water and water. So let's see what else. And if you guys are available right now, I have offerings on Zoom. On Wednesdays, it's kind of early, but I did change the time. It's at 6:30 a.m. We have transformational mindset meditation Wednesdays. So if anybody is available and you can join us for just a half an hour, I'd love to have you. Hold on, David, hold on. Okay, hold on. So if anybody's able to join us at that time, and I do it at that time because my house is very quiet at that time in the morning. And so that's a great time to catch the sun as it's coming up and as it is rising, so that you can get that energy first part of the day. If you catch the replay, you can practice the meditation, you can practice the affirmations, you can listen to the sound bath. So I try to incorporate different things, but usually it's the same format, but you'll get something different because there'll be a different focus for every meditation. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to do is have people practice to meditate and practice to just take care of yourself, not to be selfish, but to really just practice self-care and practice what feels good. What do you need? What does the body need? What does your soul need? And get us back to where we need to be so we can be most effective.
Thank you so much, Denise. And yes, we have to learn all of these great techniques. And I'm so glad Denise is our in-house specialist. And you'll see why in just a little bit, right? We're ready. Asiya, you are up next, beautiful lady.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. I guess I'm really new here. I'm a chef. I've been furloughed at the Marriott, currently to be terminated. But right now I'm in school to become a nutrition health coach, and hopefully I'll be one in June. So, hi.
Thank you so much, Asiya. I love that you're here with us. And then, of course, I would love for you to share. Matter of fact, at this time, if you want to share how we met and what's going on a little bit with the Marriott, let's just kick it off real quick, because this is something that I want others to learn about and grow with as we're continuing this growing process.
Okay, so we were doing a rally in front of the hotel that I've been furloughed at since mid-March of last year. And pretty much they furloughed us and told us we were going to get, have our jobs. Then, we're coming back by the end of December. December 9th, everyone gets 852 people get a FedEx letter saying that now, you're going to be terminated as of March 12th. And that's it. There's nothing you can do. We're not a union property. They're going to outsource the company. So, it's like the whole food and beverage department is going bye-bye. They're going to bring in a new company, rent that space out to them, and they can hire whoever they want to. And, you're left to find whatever job you can. A lot of the people are minorities. They're immigrants. Their English isn't that well. They're in their late 50s, early 60s, and not quite that age where they can start collecting Social Security or even find another job. So, I mean, when for a lot of them, this was their only job. So when the workplace comes back again, who's going to hire them? Who's going to hire someone who's in their late 50s, early 60s? No one, especially when that's like their first and only job that they've had. Their English is really limited. It's like their interactions with like technology isn't even that great for a lot of them. Like, my kitchen staff, they're all over the world. You've got a Russian, you've got Haitian, like everybody's English is limited. So it's like just filing for unemployment was like such a challenge. And, it's like something that I was on the phone constantly for like weeks on end trying to help people with. And these are the people that you're going to be leaving in the workplace. So what we were doing is protesting for the right to recall. So anyone that's been affected in New York City because of the pandemic that's been laid off, the right to recall basically will give you the ability to be the first person called back should your job become available. So that's how I met her. We are out there rallying and she just happened to walk by and she came and started supporting us. So thank you very much for that.
Listen, I couldn't believe that was something that was happening to our community. And as I stated, why ASEA is such a great part of this is because we talk about these jobs, we talk about lack of funding and how to, decrease debt. How are you going to decrease debt if you don't even have a job and stuff? So I'm thankful that you're a part of us now, ASEA, and we are going to rally together continuously so that Governor Cuomo and Reverend Al Sharpton and all these great leaders know what's taking place, especially since, hi Stormy, especially since our community is affected the most. So thank you. Sorry about the horns. It's New York City. You already know. We have our member, the Urban Cinderella, that's with us, but she is going to introduce herself after Miss Dana Marie. So Mimi is next, and then Miss Dana, and then Miss Urban Cinderella. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here with everyone tonight. My name is Mishka, also known as Mimi's Vision on Instagram, and I'm an entrepreneur. I have a law firm and a technology company, and I also do sales for Urban Minerals, which is a line of vegan natural cosmetics here in Toronto. So yeah, I like to say my job is helping lift others. A big part of what I do as as an entrepreneur is really try to look at the bigger picture and moving forward. I'm going to be putting out more content on my YouTube channel. I created a show called The Art of Artificial Intelligence through the pandemic. And basically what I did was I interviewed about 100 people all over the world through Zoom, and I asked them what their questions and concerns were about artificial intelligence, and I created a 10-episode series called The Art of Artificial Intelligence. So just exploring like this tech space a bit more. For me, I learned to teach, and I'm loving the process of kind of introducing so many things that are very much relevant in today's situation with the pandemic. Definitely learning how to make money online is really important. and staying up to date with trends and what tools we have available to us and how we can use them at the most, like, use it for all that it has to offer so we can benefit the most from it, I guess. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm really, really happy to be here. I met Anaya a year and a bit ago, and she is honestly such a sweet, amazing person. She's someone I met at Whole Foods in Harlem because I was living in New York for a little while last year, and I saw her and her fabulous self just sitting there, and I was like, I need to be next to this lady. Like, I need to meet her. So she told me she was an author. I think the next day we had met again, and just I told her how I had been looking for a female mentor because I'm blessed to work with so many amazing people, but the majority of them are male. And now as I'm entering, my 9th year as an entrepreneur, so many things have come up for me in the last couple months about how women just generally, and I know this, I can speak about it because we're all women here in this room, but just the level of arrogance, ego, and disrespect that we have to face is something that I'm really working through and trying to create more of an allyship when it comes to the men, and almost like reteaching and re-educating on, how to be a decent person. So yeah, when I met Anaya, I was really looking for a female mentor, and she was just everything, and like just very confident and powerful and charismatic, and I've learned so much from her already. So being on this platform with her, I'm just super grateful.
Oh my God, don't make me cry. And I learned so much from Mimi as well, being in her industry. And that's why we all mesh so well, because we're all on the same page. And that's why it's a perfect segue into Dana Marie, because she's right there with us in regards to what you just shared, Mimi. So welcome for the first time, Miss Dana Marie. Wow, love you, ladies.
Man, I'm like really trying to not make my eyes sweat right now, those tears because it's amazing to me every time, I get into a space like this and I hear the collaboration amongst women. It just warms my heart because it shatters that myth, right? That girls can't work together, like we don't get along and everybody neck rolling like that, right? I love what I'm hearing here. So I got to say thank you to you, Miss Anaya A, for a couple of reasons. Let me first tell you how we met just 2 weeks ago, right? So I'm on my IG, minding my business that pays me. And Anaya has this video that comes up in my feed. And I was like, who is this boss lady, right? And she's just infectious. And I was like, let's connect. And we must have stayed on the phone for like an hour or so. Like it was supposed to be a quick 15-minute phone call, but as you ladies all know, like Anaya is so infectious with her personality, 15 minutes of her is just not enough, right? So, I was like, this is my sis right here. Where you been, girl? Like, where you been? So I'm so, honored to be amongst all of you ladies and just hearing, I need a piece of all of this, right? And this is what I think is so magical about who we are as women. We have each of us a piece that the other one needs. It's like we make the puzzle whole, right? So I definitely will be checking into Denise's meditation because my daughter tells me I don't do that enough. Mimi, I got to check out, your IG. Asaya, I have to make sure I check in with you. And then I can't wait to hear from Sonia. But what I do, I'm an entrepreneur. And, my background is in financial literacy, where I love, really to, what I like to say is lead, right? So that's leverage, educate, and dominate, right? So this way, when times like this happen, as women, we have a collective community that we can go to say, what are the resources that I can tap into so I'm not facing the struggle during these economic challenges? Because I want to just be honest with you guys. I sit in a lot of rooms, and over my 20-year experience of being in financial literacy, one thing that I know, everybody isn't suffering during this economic time. And what happens when these things happen, like in 2008, here we are, and this started in 2019. Let's not forget, it's called COVID-19. Okay, so we have to watch the trends. But what happens is people in our communities that are not privileged to certain information, or we didn't have this level of knowledge coming up because no one showed it to us, we're often the ones that are left behind. And because we're left behind, the generations behind us have to keep starting over. So my goal, my absolute purpose is to, number one, help us to create generational wealth so we can close that gap. It's about the skill set. And if I can share just, a piece of my knowledge that's going to spark a flame for another girl boss to say, and I'm not saying we can't work with guys, but what I'm saying is oftentimes, I've been married 27 years, guys, 25 years together, 27. My husband will tell you, he's like, you handle the financial aspect. And most of the time, that's what happens in most households, especially women of color. So we have to wear the administrative hat. We have to wear the mom hat. We have to wear the wife hat. We have to wear so many hats. But in this specific one, we are the ones that kind of set the foundation for how our sons are going to manage their money, how our sons are going to create generational wealth. And in my case, not just my sons, but also my daughter. So it's important to me to educate people on a few different levels. What does credit really mean? We were taught, and maybe not in school, but maybe just through the school of hard knocks when we became adults, don't use your credit for everything. That is a misconception. I want to show people how to use their credit for the right things. Okay. And then, life insurance. That is one of the biggest fears amongst people of color, because the thought process is, I'm leaving that for people when I'm not here. No, girlfriend, we're going to show you how to leverage that so you can use it right now. So when the economy don't look right for other people, you're like, okay, I'm not going to skip a beat, right? So creating those opportunities where we can really have what I like to call wealth equity, through my company, which is the Upscale Legacy Group. And then I have some umbrella companies under that. But it's really about helping my girl bosses, because inside each of us, there's a boss. She just needs to shine a little bit more. So Naya, I thank you for letting me be here, sis. I love this company. I got my coffee, so I'm going to just sit and chill out with y'all until, it's time to go home.
Thank you so much, Dana. And that's what is so beautiful. And that's why it took us from 15 minutes to 2 hours from first conversation, because everything was merging literally. And that's what I love about the power of social media. Speaking of social media, we have a social media guru with us, Miss The Urban Cinderella. I say Miss The Urban, Lord have mercy, I'm all tied up. But the Urban Cinderella is on here with us, and she is going to introduce herself as well. And we love her. And then we're going to jump right into our program tonight, ladies.
I'm Sandy, better known as the Urban Cinderella, and I do not need that much pressure, okay? It's a lot of awesome people out here to not put guru and social media with me together, because I'm usually like, my Instagram is whack, because I'm actually living a real life, so I don't really be having time to post. I'll be posting, so.
Hi!
And that's my shadow, who's never too far. So yeah, so you know what's crazy? Like the more I join, the group, and depending on who is on, it's like I start finding out more things about me and kind of like the language for what I'm pursuing and how I want to do it. Or somebody will trigger something else that I didn't bring, like, okay, I didn't put no value on it yet. And then you guys would say something and it will trigger something like, oh my goodness, this is part of why you said you was gonna do this. So like when Mimi said about the male, like working with male and stuff like that, because that's always been my life. Not only I work with males, but all my friends were male. So like whenever I went to a situation, it was like, oh gosh, y'all girls, y'all talk to, like, it was almost like, okay, I can't do y'all girls. And the thing is, but you lose a beauty of yourself as a woman. So now it's almost like now I'm retracing where now most of my friendships are back to the women, because you know you need your sisters, and there's a lot of things that you go through and you don't really understand the value of that relationship. Because I think even Beyonce had came up with a song when she said like the value of sisterhood and womanhood, like there's a value in it that, you know what I mean, we got into society where the guys could get us through the door. So I've always worked with men and all that stuff, and I noticed that, like, you know what I mean? It's like even when Trump said, like, I put all the women around me because they work hard and they make sure that the work get done. And so to think that, like, what if we do that? You know, like you said, we're all here right now. It is funny because I was washing the dishes. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna come tonight and whatever. And I was like, God was like, all right, you done washing the dishes? Like, you ate already? Now let's go. And so here I am on. So my thing with the Urban Cinderella, and it's funny because that's why I said with everything, with things that you said, and I like to write. So I literally would write books. Like I have a book talking about how to accumulate wealth. And I feel like I don't have the cash, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, how to accumulate wealth. And with the whole book is where I'm at right now with the whole Urban Cinderella, which is my tagline is the daughter of the king. Because I feel like us women, and sometimes because we don't have a father figure or relationship broke us or whatever it is that we always think, I mean, especially the world be telling us, oh, you know what I mean, it's because of your daddy issues. This is why this is happening. This is why that is happening. And I just wanted to kind of like take that stigma off the table with the Urban Cinderella, meaning that once you know who your heavenly father is and who you are under that umbrella, then there's nothing in the world that you can't do. And that's even in your girlfriendships, in your women neighborhoods, and whatever business that you're trying to do. So my whole thing with the Urban Cinderella is to like get wealthy, promoting positive messages, you know, because negative messaging has been following us, and that's the Instagram followers. That's what's been getting most of the media. Because a long time ago, if you were bad, you wasn't getting put on TV. And now it's like, if you're good, somebody outside of you have to go and tweet it or something else to make it, to let you be known. So all this to say, that's the Urban Cinderella. I want to get wealthy by promoting positive messaging. So, and tell little girls that they are the daughter of the king, so they should walk like it, talk like it, and don't let your ground shake, sis.
Yes, hunting. I'm here for it. And I'm here for all of you beautiful queens. And you know what? That's what we are. And you know, you made a very valuable point. And I think Stephanie Winter just joined us, our sister also from Canada. By the way, I don't think everybody mentioned where they are, but do you realize all of you are in different communities? We have Toronto, Canada. I say Canada, but it's Canada, okay? We have New York City, obviously. Hi, Stephanie. We have Connecticut, and we have Jersey all up in the line. And Colors hopefully comes back, but she is hailing in New York City. However, she's from Nigeria, and this is the beauty of it. So I'm excited. Stephanie is here. Stephanie, do you want to introduce yourself, my beautiful one, before we start with tonight's program?
Hi, Steph.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I know that I'm actually just running a little bit late. I really appreciate everybody for having me on here. My name, of course, is Steph Winter. I am a 38-year-old mother of one. I'm also a grandmother of one. And professional-wise, I am a network marketer. I'm extremely thrilled to let you guys know that I'm actively participating in the financial markets. What I do is I teach And I teach and I teach and I continue to teach people how to enter those markets, make a residual income for themselves, actually make a secondary income for themselves, and regardless whatever market that they need to be in, whether it be Forex, crypto, stocks, you name it, Stephanie has it. And I'm willing to teach every single person how to live financially free.
Steph was introduced to us by Mimi. Again, this is the time to let others know that we are live here tonight. Ty just joined us, and Ty says sending love whenever it is needed. Ty is in the building, and so is Mama Brenda Doc. Lord have mercy. Here we go. We're gonna let Ty, if Ty can, I know Ty, if you can hear me, if you can share, please do. If you cannot, I know you're in class as well. Ty is multitasking this evening. That's what I love about our resident young person, Ty.
Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Hey, you guys. I'm sorry for the lack of visual, but I'm moving around. How you doing? My name is Ty. As you know, I'm the youth aspect of the ECI team. I'm just dropping in and coming in late because I just got off the orientation. I'm a current CUNY BA student. I'm developing an interdisciplinary degree. It's going to be titled Youth Urban Development, where, I take just what that means, the youth, and develop them in our community. So I'm definitely using this team and this platform as a way to learn, a way to get education. 2 of my classes are financial classes, thanks to you guys this semester. So, I'm just trying to take this information and go forward, be productive and as, like productive as possible as I can for the youth. So thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Ty. We appreciate you and love your enthusiasm to learn and to grow. And look at that. We influenced a young person to take classes in finances. What the hell? Like, who would have thought this would be happening? Whoa. Okay, we have Mama Brenda. Mama Brenda, did you want to say anything? Or you just want to listen in? It's up to you, beautiful lady, but I'm so glad you're back with us.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Hi, good evening. How's everybody doing?
Great, now that you're here.
I'm coming in and I just want to listen and be a part and see what you're doing out there, because I know you're doing something interesting and it's going to be very informative. So I'm just going to listen today and see what's happening.
Thank you for joining us, and we love you. And just to let you all know, Mama Brenda is also a member of the National Action Network. That's where myself, Ty, Sandy, and I guess that's where we all 4 kind of met. And then throughout interpersonal relationships, we grow and we spread our wings and we meet up with others. So shout out to the Reverend Al Sharpton tonight, not promoting anything, but just saying that when you go into certain groups and you meet certain people, you find needs and you attack them. So that's great. For those that are just joining us and for those that are on social media, please share and blast this out, because tonight's topic is literally what we've been discussing, which is, of course, increasing wealth, decreasing debt. Now, we have leaders in this game on tonight. We have Steph and Mimi that are literally in the Forex game, the AI game, that they are constantly sharing great information with us, and that is so amazing. We also have a leader in this game. Dana Marie is now a new leader after listening to her. She is all about the insurances and, growing, your portfolio when it comes to like life insurance policies and different things of that nature. And she's super passionate about this information going out to our communities. And one of the things that we did tonight, or what I wanted to do tonight, is literally merge these concepts, right? And again, the reason why it's so important for us to share with as many people as we know is because I literally want to see a number of multimillionaires before I leave this earth. And being a millionaire is no longer like a big deal. I don't know if you guys realized it, but being a millionaire is like no longer a thing. It's like multimillionaire. It's like billionaire. It's like trillionaire, like a Amazon guy that pays 0 taxes, right? And so if we know that being a millionaire is not a thing, why not attain that position in life? Why not go towards that? And so when I sit back and I think about all the great relationships I have, for example, and how all of you, you know, are so amazing in my life, I'm like, if we can empower each other and share the knowledge that we have and grow a hub of collective minded people, why not? Right? And so that's why we're here tonight, because we want to be able to share information. We want to be able to galvanize. You know, when it comes to the political aspect, and I'm sharing about politics for a reason, when it comes to the political aspect, right, you'll notice that when somebody's running for office, for example, they will rally up the troops. They will go out there, they'll pass out flyers, they'll have people volunteering, they'll have hired staff to bring people on board and vote for them. But what do we get in return? Presently, here we go, y'all. Now it gets a little tricky, but amazing. Presently, we are in an election cycle here in New York City, whereas we have almost every office changing and turning over. So with that being said, and knowing the needs of the community, shout outs to all those that actually care for us, but for those that don't care, they're about to realize that we're going into 2021 with a new vision. And if you're a politician, we're no longer taking the scraps. We want you to include financial literacy on your platforms. We want you to understand that too many of us do not have insurance policies. Ms. Dana can attest to that, right? We want you to understand that we are not going to just take the little bit that you throw at us, but we want to make an effective change in every arena, but mostly in finances. When we started the ECI, right? It literally was started out of a dream and a vision, like, OMG, I've been saving money in stocks and mutual funds for years, and I don't even know the first thing about trading. I don't know how to buy, I don't know how to sell, I don't know what stocks I should be putting my money in. However, the person that doesn't want us to know that. But why is it that, ready for this? And somebody stated it earlier, either on here or maybe in a conversation, because I've spoken to so many people today. Can I just say real quick, I love all of you. And I spend most of my day on the phone with you great people. Oh my God, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you, right? And so one of the things that I want us to do is hold people accountable and share that we need financial literacy involved in our communities, because one of the reasons why we face homelessness, we can't pay for funerals when there's a mysterious death or whatever, we can't keep anything like land and different assets, is because we are oblivious and we're never brought onto the table. So tonight's conversation, I want to hear from all of you and some of your concerns, because as we're recording and as we're sharing this live with the community, I want you to understand, right, that number one, this past week I did something, and I typically wouldn't share this publicly, but guess what? We're gonna talk about it. Ty knows, because Ty and Miss Mama Brenda knows this person very well, which I can't say their name because of FDIC and all sorts of other foolishness, but you guys will meet him face to face very soon, and also through Zoom. He is my financial advisor at a very reputable bank and institution. And he's the one who basically has helped me throughout the course of the year or 2 years that I've known him. And when I came to him and I shared and you know, at first I was embarrassed. Let's be real. And ladies, you could attest to this. We're talking about the male ego here. We're talking about literally not knowing too much, but wanting to know, right? And you can imagine, here I am with one particular agency for years, sending in money every month, right? Putting money towards something that I think is going to grow my portfolio, and I'm going to make some coins. And when I sit down with the financial advisor at this other location, they won't tell me nothing about nothing. Do you realize how heartbreaking that is, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are going to be watching on all of our different social media platforms? It breaks my heart to know that I'm throwing coins at you and you're throwing me bones in the end. Bare bones with no chicken on it, okay? Like not good bones, like the bare bones. So with that being said, this particular person took the time as a Black young male in the financial industry to share and say things like, Anaya A, you need to be investing in AI. Same thing as Mimi been talking about. Anaya A, do you understand the Forex market? Anaya A, do you understand what Tesla is? Anaya A, do you have your portfolio diversified in different arenas, predominantly in technology, because that's the new wave? With that being said, I got hip to the game and I started doing my research and learning. And tonight's topic is basically breaking barriers and sharing some of the things that we know as a collective, because when this information goes out, we want others that know certain things to say enough is enough. Let me stop being selfish. Let me share with the community certain aspects of what I know, because we want us to grow as a people. And I wanted to say that to start off, because enough is enough. And again, in regards to the political arena, this past week on Monday, I stood up on the National Action Network stage and I shared during NAN Youth Huddle. Look at Miss Sandy, honey, you already know. I shared about the ECI initiative. Why? Because I wanted the youth to understand that it's not too early for you to learn what the stock market game looks like. Steph is nodding, Dana is nodding, Mimi, I see the little exclamation points. You already know, Mimi's another young one, right? I see you, honey. We have to let those young people especially know that it's not too early to start. And then of course I introduced Ty, and Ty stood up and waved as our young woman leader in this game, right? And so tonight I wanted us to have that conversation. Do you feel slighted when it comes to this game? And what can we do to change what other people's perceptions of us are, and what the perception, of us are, like what other people see about us and what we see about us, and let's change it. And whatever we know, we can share this evening as we move forward, because it's time to break these barriers. If any of you wants to go first, feel free. I'm gonna mute my phone as I take care of the little furry human. So whatever perceptions you've heard and you see about yourself, and how do we break those barriers? Anybody want to go first? Feel free to share.
I will definitely go. I am here to break every single barrier there possibly is. As I mentioned to you guys previously before, I am now engaged all day into the financial markets. I had no business being in these markets when I got into them about 2 years ago. But what I did understand was the person that was actually teaching me about these, the market, it made a lot of sense to me that the things that were happening with my money, it was just not being done by myself. And the only reason I wasn't being done by myself, like Anaya just mentioned, she was handing her money to other places, is because I was never educated on these things. Now, I want to tell you guys that education for a lot of us started from kindergarten straight to university, college. I don't know where it is, it's gone to, but one can never stop being educated. And the simple fact that we have not been educated on how to make our money grow for us for the amount of years that we have not had it done for us shows me that I had a lot of homework to do. And Anaya was talking and I started to grab a bunch of books. I was never somebody that used to be a note taker. But you talk to me about gaining my money back, taking back what was mine to begin with, and you got me to write the amount of notes that I possibly can. I have like over 80 books that I specifically wrote notes on. Why? Because if it's about educating myself now, I have to go back from the ground up to understand exactly what I deserve. And I think that every single person that's on this call needs to understand that we all need to be living a life of financial freedom. The only reason why we're not doing it is because majority of us just don't know how to. And a lot of us are living in scarcity. Now, the people, of course, there's 97% of us that live like this. And of course, I'm one of them. I was living like this for a long time. And I'm not saying that I'm 1% now. To that 1%. And it comes with a lot of education. Now, a lot of us are hearing about the stock market, and we're hearing about the equities market, and we're hearing all sorts of things about how to make money. And some of us are still looking at it like, I can pass education from kindergarten to university and learn this game without actually going through the steps. We can't do it. We can't do it, guys. We got to go from the beginning stages And we literally got to share ideas and share our actual analysis as to how to get to the next level. Because really and truthfully, once you get to that next level, there's no turning back. You will become that 1% and you will look at life a lot different. So that's why I take the time out every single day to express my deepest, sincerest, like I actually I pour my heart out there to tell you guys that whatever you guys are doing, I need you guys to start from the top. And when I say starting from the top, it means to reprogram your mind. Your mother, we're looking at names and I'm going to call them out. Storm, your mother doesn't know my mother. Dana, your mother doesn't know my mother. Ty, your mother doesn't know my mother. Anaya, your mother doesn't know my mother. But one thing our parents used to always say was money used to grow on trees. Another thing our parents used to say, money is the root of all evil. And I say this with life. Why? Because these are things that have sat with us. I don't know everybody's ages, but those things have sat with us for the years in which we've lived. And we've lived with the fact that we should live comfortable with those lies. So if we need to reprogram ourselves, we need to go back into figuring out, wait a minute, money does grow on trees. Money is not the root of all evil. And we need to now start reprogramming ourselves to understand everything that we were taught. Is there another way that we can actually go about it? Because the way that we were taught was the incorrect way. If that makes sense to anybody.
Powerful. Absolutely powerful. And I saw Mimi chiming in. Let me tell you something. I love that. And I think, and I know this may get into a little bit of my activism self, but I don't give a crap tonight because you already know the truth will set us free. I want to say that it is, in my opinion, that we were taught certain aspects about money because the church wanted us to feel as though being rich was not a thing. And growing up, if you remember, a lot of times, if you're growing up in the church or what have you, they'll sing things like, I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. And they will make us feel as though having money is not what we need to strive for or desire. But the people with the money, they making their money, and we talking about Jesus all day. And when we get to heaven, we're going to reach the golden gates, and we're going to, why can't we have the golden gates on this land now? And
sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was gonna say that. And that's the thing. A lot of people say that money's not the root, money's the root of all evil and things like that. And it's not all about money, but time is money. With the money that you have, be able to do. And that's the main thing. I know money is not everything, but money gives the average person the time to do the things that they've never had the possibilities to do previously. And that's where, again, our churches used to say, money is not the main thing, but they forgot that little piece. But time makes money work for us. You know, if you have enough time, if you have enough time, then it works out for you. Or if you have enough money to take care of that time, that's when it works out for you. So it's just the little small pieces that were left out. And I always say to everybody, when we watch the news, it's a little bit like the news. The news is, they're intrigued on telling us bits and pieces of the news, but they're always told to leave out little certain things so that we are left in a certain place where we think it's a scare tactic. And we run with this scare tactic. It's easier for us to be scared than to actually combat fear, right? And if we're so easily scared, then of course it's so easily that we're easily manipulated, right? And that's the major thing with a lot of the higher heads. And I always say, I just say the 1%, they know how to manipulate us. Why? Because they've been doing it for the life of us, and we've never ever fought back on it. So that's why I realized that, wait, it wasn't just one person that told me this. It was actually, and I don't know who else is on here, but again, it was a white man that told me these things. And I looked at him and said, bro, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're living a different life than I'm living? And at the time when he was saying it, I just didn't understand. He's like, you still have the ability to do the things I'm doing. You're just not doing them the way you're supposed to be doing it. And that comment alone had me go back and say to myself, I want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it so that I can do that for myself. But now my thing is, now that I do know how to do it, how do I take on all of my people? Because my people deserve to understand it too. Right. And that's a major thing. It's a lot of it. It comes down to the knowledge of what's going on in the world in which we're living. And a lot of what we're doing in life is we're living, we're going to school, we're getting jobs because they tell us to, we're retiring because they tell us to. And then a lot of us are dying because that's what they tell us to. Now, if we were doing certain things that were a lot more different, if we were making sure that time is money and we were making sure that every single dollar that we had was actually accounted for and it was working for us so that we had extra time, that's what they would do. That's what they do. But they don't want to teach us how to do that. Why?
And that's why we're here tonight. Stephanie, hold that thought. We see Dana has unmuted herself. So I feel like, Dana, you have something to say. And if anybody else has anything else to say, either please wave your hand or do that hand raise thing, whatever. Oh, Sandy, the Urban Cinderella, because this topic is hot tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's a hot topic. And I just wanted to, piggyback off of Steph. We come out of that same industry. So when you're in that kind of an industry where it kind of jolts you to shift the way that you're thinking. So, for me, and I grew up in Jersey City, an urban area. My grandparents were originally from Philadelphia, moved to Jersey City in the 70s. But my mom always was a hustler. Like, she was a young mom, a teen mom, had me at 18. So the School of Hard Knocks was, in many ways, how she learned, right? But she never stopped pushing. So I never had the limiting belief about money, but the people around me did, right? So, for me, watching my mom, push her way through school, get 2 graduate degrees, work on Wall Street, that's exactly what I did, right? But at the same time, I saw my mom hustle. She had a side business my whole childhood. There was always something else she was doing. And she was that neighborhood mom. I'm saying was, my mom she gained her angel wings in 2014 at just the tender age of 60 years old. And I'm going somewhere, but I want you guys to understand why I hear that same passion with Stephanie. I hear me in Stephanie, right? And I'm a little older, just a little bit older. But she was that mom for everybody on the block. Like, she would take the kids to, the beach in the summer, rent a whole bus, have a whole bus going down, to Great Adventures. But what that did was it expanded how we thought, right? It expanded the way we thought. And therefore, it is up to us, this generation, we have so much at our fingertips. My mom had to learn from people that didn't look like her. Do you get what I'm saying? My mom had to learn from an era where women were just being welcomed into the workforce in that way on Wall Street. Do you get what I'm saying? We have everything at our fingertips, and we have communities now where we can exchange vibrant information so that when we get ready to say, hey, I need some investing tips, sis, right? When we say, Dana, I need to understand, how does credit game work, that I can really leverage my money and take that thing to the next level? How do I pull out some money from my 401k that's really not growing me no money? I don't even know what my 401k is doing, right? These are the conversations we need to have. Now, understand something. I was working for a Fortune 50 company and retirement services, preaching to our people, you got to save in a 401k. And not one of them asked me why. What is my money going to do for me in a 401k? You know why? Because we're conditioned to think that putting our money in these types of investment engines is going to be set up for us to have some cushy retirement, when the people that are in that 1% that Stephanie was talking about don't have their money in 401ks. Okay? So we have to take the position in the stance that it stops with me. It stops with me. We have to make sure that not only is this conversation happening in rooms like this, but it is getting into the political room. It's getting into the classroom. There are not enough schools today teaching our young people what the dollar is supposed to do. Money is energy. Let's just call it, I don't know, you can give it any other name. It is in exchange for things that you want, things that you need. So can money go on trees, like Stephanie said? Absolutely. Well, show me how. Show me how, Mom, Dad. Show me how I can make my money go on trees. We should be raising our kids to understand that entrepreneurship is in their reach. It doesn't mean that you don't have to work for someone else, but don't just work the job. Don't just sit at the job. Learn how to turn that thing into your ownership. Get the skill set and make that thing your own. Because here's the thing, and all my sisters here, we are really witnessing something at a time and a place right now where change is happening. But I don't know that everybody has the heightened awareness that we need to have, that the income gap in this season is growing even wider than it ever has over the last 50 to 100 years. What does that mean for our children? We're seeing how this is impacting them educationally. Traditional education, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to go away. Traditional education is going to go away. And that's okay. But we now have to learn, what is it that we need to teach our children? Looking back, I say to myself, girl, did you need 2 grad degrees to do what you do today? Probably not.
Oh, Dana, hold that thought. Hold that thought, because that is imperative for the segue. And we have Colors who just joined us. Oh my God, that thought right there, and whatever else you're gonna say, hold that thought. Sorry, the puppy is acting nuts. Colors has rejoined us. Welcome, Colors. And then Denise has her hand up after Colors introduces herself. Colors, are you there, beautiful? I think she was experiencing some technical difficulties. Denise, in the meantime, please unmute yourself, Queen. And I think you have a question.
Yes. So more so a piggyback with Steph and Dana Marie. What you guys are talking about is pivotal, and I wanted to add value to what you're saying by adding, we are conditioned, but that doesn't mean that that's where we have to go. And from my perspective, as someone who is trying to reach and heal and support people who've been through trauma, remember, when people go through something, sometimes everything stops in their life and they're not able to conceive, or it's their perception that changes about money, their mindset about how money works, their mindset about what is valuable, their mindset about what they can actually attain and the possibilities of them being, financially free. Being in the 1% is amazing, but most of us don't even think that it's attainable. And then, because we don't think it's attainable, because we don't maybe get exposed to, the methods and the ways. So therefore, now when you go through these traumas, you go through these things that kind of give you a setback in life. Now you don't even dream anymore that you can do these things. So I'm grateful for you ladies bringing that up. And I'm reiterating that it is possible. Financial literacy, financial freedom, it is possible. If we can put minds together, we can put resources together, between all of us in the room. I mean, the expertise, the education and expertise in the room is powerful. And I don't even think we have everybody on the line. So if you could just imagine like the synergy of what we can all bring. But yeah, that's pretty much where I am. I was just on fire with what you both said.
Oh my God, I love it. The Urban Cinderella is up next. Ladies, hold on to any comments and thoughts. Raise your hands. Let us know you want to go next.
Goodness.
You know, he want to be a part of this conversation.
I'm trying to tell you, like.
He wants to be rich too, sister. Let's do it, Stormy.
Yeah, he's already, he's in his blood. So I just wanted to put a little disclaimer out there on behalf of the God that I serve. So I know, like my mom, like her statement now, and she's like 70 something, and it's like, after God is money, because when you don't have no money, even your family will turn their backs on you. So, and with the root money, Storm Emmanuel.
It says 1, 2, 3.
So with that, like I was saying, because in this in the word it says that, and people always use money is the root of all evil, when it's like, no, the love of money. And even God says, I come to give you life and give it to you more abundantly. So another thing I wanted to say was, I don't think, as like when I think about it, and then I'll tell you guys the story, like when I see that, is a lot of like our financial situation really comes not more the programming, but more from the disconnection. Because even when I was talking to my mom, and I said, when they call Black folks niggas, and it was like the whole term for nigga is to be ignorant. But then when you look at what they were doing, nobody was ignorant. Like they were like super smart. So that's why I think it's the disconnection from who we really are. Because they picked the cotton. When you think about our ancestors and what they have done, I think it's the disconnect of what our ancestors have done and where we are now, because they had their money, they created their business from all the situations that they went through with being sold, with having their kids sold, with being whooped and all that stuff. And I think it's that disconnection. Like I always say, Black folks, we're so busy trying to catch our footings that every time we think we're about to get something like this, is it like right now we all feel united, we have the VP and all that stuff, and then here comes the other chaos, like we have terrorism that's locally and all that stuff. So it's always keeping us, like every time we're trying to just get limitless zen, you know, it comes to shake us up again. And I think in all that shaking, what we really need to go back to is the foundation of who we are, like where we're from. Like we're from a continent that all the wealth, no matter what you're trying to create, AI, whatever, it comes from Africa, like everything you need. So it's that disconnect that I think gets us discouraged, because that's what I'm like, when I say the daughter of the king, whenever I feel my energy going down and I say that, it kind of regroups me. And it's when I came with that conclusion, like here I am now on a financial thing with all you beautiful ladies giving me financial information. So it's not like lack of, and not in hindsight, but like my grandfather, like when I went to Haiti, I left Haiti when I was 9, and I went back to Haiti at 39. So it was like 30-year gap. And then with all the information, knowing, being in America, what I've learned, what I've seen, and my American struggle and stuff like that. And then I go to Haiti and seeing like my grandfather is no longer alive, but just to see what he left behind. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is the root of us as far as like when it comes to finances and everything. And I'm like, even in the Bible, wealth was buying land. So to think my grandfather spent his life working in Cuba and buying lands in Haiti and everywhere, like, because I have my American mentality now, so I know like what location is, what value this has because it's next to the water and things like that. And then I look at all those investments he made to leave behind for his children and his grandchildren, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like we, like the root of our like grandparents, of the root of our just us being here, period, is where our wealth really is. And I think it's that disconnect, that's why we're always starting, we're always trying to catch up, because that's why we what's the word they need to pay, they need to give Black people their money.
Reparations,
and let us start from that. That's what's really holding us back. It's reparations.
Well, there you have it, folks. And I appreciate that, sister. And you're right. Some people, and I want to say my disclaimer too, because I am a believer, but I just don't believe in the foolishness that they try to preach to us when it comes to religion, when one person is getting all the wealth and they don't teach us nothing, because it's almost like they want to keep us in a box. And I don't do that, right? So I get it. And I thank you too, the Urban Cinderella, because you're right. You know, some people are hip to the game about the wealth thing and how Jesus and God wants us to be wealthy, but he also wants us to be able to give back. So I thank you. And you know what? You hit another brilliant point. How is it that our ancestors were able to fight and make it through such crazy times and really build themselves up? It's in our DNA. Like I said, we have our resident beautiful queen from Nigeria on now, but I don't know if we're having a technical issue. You brought up Africa as well. Every beautiful thing, in my opinion, comes from Africa originally. Denise, I heard you as well, sister, with what you were saying. You know, I've just been taking care of the selfish one. And I say he's selfish because I can't believe he is mad that I'm on Zoom right now. I don't want to call his name, but he's in my lap and you guys know who I'm talking about. And he is jealous. And that's why he came to the screen to see who the heck I was talking to. And this is my life right now as a fur baby mama. Okay, praise God. Lord, help me.
Be rich too.
What is it?
I say he want to be rich too.
You already know. He's like, let me find out about these coins because I want to have treats for the rest of my life. Right, Stormy? You already know. Listen, this conversation tonight is definitely something that we needed. You know, sometimes we just have to take a breather. But before we move on and talk about some of the investment portfolios and things that you all are working on, anybody else have anything else you want to add? I saw Denise dropped off, but she was driving, so she may be back. Real quick, we have a couple of comments. Oh, you know what I should do? Real quick, does anybody have anything else they want to share? Or can I read some comments off social media? I'll read some comments off social media. Thank God for the power of technology, and that's why we invest. First of all, the last one that just came in is from Michael Boruso, who is our friend from the organization that Asia was referring to earlier. And Michael says, hi, Anaya, just wanted to quickly send my love. Aw, now back to homework. Just like Ty, Michael is back in school. And he says, going back to school at 60 years old is exciting and oh so strange. Trust me, Michael, we get it, but we're proud of you here at the ECI team. We want to say that you can continue in whatever direction you want to go into. Believe in something bigger than yourself and you'll accomplish anything. Shavar Marcus says, what's this? And I had to send out the message what Team ECI was for Marcus and anybody else that were that's a part of our conversation tonight via social media. Mohammed Sani Ibrahim says, quite an astonishment, keeping the steps on, making an impact, reducing poverty level to riches, creating wealth. You are well done, girls. Keep on going. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to all those other comments that are coming, let me just real quick, because you know I have a couple of devices where I can read the other comments real quick. We also have from, oh man, I can't get to them because what happens on social media is you can't get back farther. I'm gonna keep trying to get back, but I thank you all for your comments and for joining. Oh, Pastor Steffi Bartley from New Jersey also said that he was watching from New Jersey, so that makes me feel really good that Pastor Steffi Bartley was watching, as well as Robin Clanton and Mr. Gregory Roberts. These are all guests on the Anaya A Show. They're partners with us. They work with us to impress and improve and to do the things that we're doing in our community. You know, ladies, I'm so happy with everything you said, and that's why tonight is so super duper important and imperative, because you know we could talk about stock options all day, we could talk about Bitcoining, we could talk about, you know, the great things that we've been doing. However, when we talk about why we're doing what we're doing, that to me is the niche that I'm looking for, because at the end of the day, like, getting wealthy is one thing, but do we have a purpose in getting wealthy? Right? And so part 2 of this particular segment is literally, what is it that you all want to do when you become wealthy, right? Not putting all your business out there, but what is your purpose? Years ago, I met a woman who literally posed the question, what is your why? No, what is your what for why? And at first I was like, what is your what? And she was like, what is your what for why? Why do you do what you do? Now you have the option of sharing what you want to do with yourselves when you reach that multi-million dollar, milestone or what have you, or you don't have to. But I'll share this with you all. My goal is really to buy some of this land. We as a people do not have generational legacies because we give up too quickly right before the end of the race. We're like, screw it, it's too hard. I want to have properties in New York City. I'm gonna have properties in New York City. I'm literally going to be able to have a building or two, right, where I could rent out some of this space, making sure our people that are in the shelters, etc., are going to have somewhere. Because let me tell you something, the government be cutting them checks, y'all. Praise the Lord, amen. Y'all better find out, helping these people in the shelters. Look, you're helping yourself, but you're also helping them get out of poverty and their situations. But I wanted to say that because I'm somebody that speaks stuff into the atmosphere, into the universe. I believe, and just like you all with your notebooks, I take a ton of notes, but I also speak things into existence. So what is some of the great things that you want to do once you finally acquire some of your wealth? Share if you want to, you don't have to, but when we speak it into existence, I bet you it happens quicker. And look who just joined us, Mr. David McFly. Mims in the building, resident only man for now. Hey, sir.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Can y'all hear me?
We can, David. Matter of fact, it's a perfect segue for you to share who you are and what you want to do when you get super wealthy, because I know you have a lot on your mind, and then we'll go to the other beautiful sisters on the line.
Well, I'm a filmmaker, photographer, producer, do a couple of things, but at the end of the day, I'm just a person that just want to make a difference in the community and, help others. And in reference to the questions of if I have a substantial amount of money, the thing is that, some people when they, say they don't have money and they want to do certain things, but when it comes, it's like, they have a different type of mode. But, in my heart, just be in a position to live to see another day. And also,
You've just been promoted. Keep things quiet until we find him. Aye, aye. You're in good hands.
It's too loud, David.
It's not the best. This is gonna be a
Too loud.
So it seems like I hear some background. Yeah, so can you hear me now? Yeah, I hear other background TV shows right now, but just be in a financial situation where generate financial wealth, generational wealth. That's the thing, and be able to help others. Probably definitely set up an organization or a foundation to help others as well. I definitely want to get into the humanitarian and just be able to help people. That's just mainly it. that's just mainly it.
Thank you, David. That was so powerful. I'm glad you jumped right in there. Not to put you on the spot, but like I said, David has a lot of great insight. Who else wants to go and share? Like when you do acquire that wealth and you become super duper on point with what you're working on, what are some of the things that you want to do for yourself, for your community? Oops, Sandy said, Al, I'm here, Bill. Okay, Sandy.
Yes, what I would love to do, because it happens to me, and it was back to the conversation we had earlier as far as like women wanting to do business, is having enough wealth where if a young girl have a dream, she don't have to put herself in a situation that is not conducive. Because I know with what I had to do, it was like, you should play this guy, or you should ask this guy for money to do it, or you should do this, or you should do that. And it was like, no, I'm going to do this no matter how long it takes. I'm going to do it in the way that I feel is respectful to me and stay that way. So when I think about that, like I was like strong enough to stay, like, I'm going to do it this way, while another young girl who might have a great dream and don't have the finances and whatever, she won't find herself in a situation to do something that could literally, at the end of the day, sabotage her reputation and who she is as a young woman. So just to reach her dream. So be able to have young girls pursue their dream with integrity by being able to finance whatever it is that they're pursuing. So that is the reason why I do the Urban Cinderella. That's my ultimate goal.
Yes, Hunty, that is so beautiful. And let me just share, I may have a partnership lined up for you in regards to that. And that's why I like to ask a lot of questions, and you guys tell me some of the things that you want to do with yourselves, because there are partnerships coming up. There are new communities that will be joining us very soon. And that right there, I talked about that actually today. Like I said, I'm on the phone all day long. That's why y'all could barely hear me now. Praise the Lord. So the Urban Cinderella, follow up with me and remind me to link you with the organization that I'm referring to. I'll be interviewing this group very soon on the Anaya A show, and I want to make sure you all are connected. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Anybody else?
Hey guys.
Hey, Ty.
So one of the things that I would want to do if I obtained a wealthy amount of money is provide space and opportunity. I did a NAN youth huddle with some upcoming district attorneys, and one of the questions that I asked them was, what do you think is the most prominent reason why youth decide to go out and commit crimes and things of that nature? And his answer was very simple. He said space. So it was space that encouraged me to make that my priority. I could speak, I could talk, I could guide, I could do all of that, but it's like, where are we gonna do it at? And a lot of these places are not, contributed to us. A lot of these places are not set to the side for us. Our landmarks is being taken left and right. Every turn we get, there's something else that's being ripped from us. But I want to be one of those people that are able to provide the youth with a space. So I'm going to, sooner than later, without the substantial amount of money, open an event community space for the youth that's going to target their necessary desires, whether it may be financial literacy, whether it may be music and producing, whether it may be cosmetology journey. I'm going to make sure that I have an outlet for them to go, because I'd rather see them somewhere than nowhere. So, that would be my goal.
Yes, Ty, somewhere better than nowhere. That is the key, and that's what excites me about this group, having those ideals and wanting to make a difference. Thank you, Ty, so much. And of course, we'll be keeping up with Ty in regards to that space, because we might have to come in and do a couple of ECI meetings. Praise the Lord, if that's okay, Ty.
Of course, that's the goal. That's the goal. You know that.
You already know. It's partnerships and building. Anybody else? I see Asia. Her phone is unmuted.
I love
we can't hear you.
What you said about that. Can you hear me now?
Now we can. Yes.
Okay. So I think, again, with that, the space thing, and that's something that I really want to be involved in. A lot of young people and a lot of young people of color, it's like going to nutrition school. It's like you're learning all this stuff about just how important it is. What you're putting into your body, makes you what you are. And in terms of like everything that you do, even to your whole mental focus. And a lot of people, we're stuck in like, little tiny apartments. We're not getting enough sunlight. We're not getting enough nutrients into our bodies. It's like they did a study on prisons and just introducing multivitamins, just a multivitamin, and their whole attitude change. It's like that whole fight or flight response that your body produces because of what you're putting into your body. It really does make a difference. And I want to be able to, if I ever get to that point, I want to be able to bring that to communities where they don't have that. You go to a corner store, and what are you getting? Sugar-laden stuff, over-processed things that are no good for you. And it's not only that it's no good for your body, it's no good for your brain as well, you know? And if people could get outdoors more, and not only people, it's like, we don't have the same parks. We don't have the same things, going away to summer camp and we don't have access to all these sports things that you see. Those things cost money. I'm a single parent. I have 2 kids. I understand what it is. You know, it's like, I don't have money for all of that. You know, our kids don't have money for equipment to join these sports things. And it's important that kids have a space to, you know, to be kids, to do what they're able to do. And that's something that I would love to do, to bring that space also, but also teach people how important it is to put good things into your body. So instead of like these little corner store bodegas where they're getting, you know, that little, you know, 50-cent juice things and candy and all of that, I want to replace those and put healthier foods so people have access to healthier foods, cleaner foods, you know, and maybe have more community gardens.
Brilliant. And
can I piggyback off of that?
Sure. And real quick, I did a mute session on a couple of phones, but don't think it's on, you know, like intentional and being rude, guys. So if you want to unmute, just like let me know because there's feedback in the backgrounds. But Ty, definitely piggyback, and there are comments throughout our group chat. So just to let you all know, you have access to that as well. Go ahead, Ty.
So what I was gonna say was that is so dope. I think that was something that I actually, I never really took thought into, you know, just like the young lady said earlier, I forget her name. We got to deprogram, you know, and deprogramming start from, of course, my level of entrance which is the youth, you know, and where would they learn to cook these things? Where would they learn the ingredients to something healthy? How can we deprogram them from thinking that, oh, you know, this all natural smoothie full of fruits is nasty when it's actually very delicious? They don't know because they've never tasted it. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, you know, collaborate on that. I think that is a very efficient idea to begin to teach them from a young age how to put good things in their body. That Prison mentioned with the multivitamins, I could see that without even doing any research, because even your body feeds off of energy around you. You understand? Like she said, the lack of sunlight and the things that it could do to your personality, your attitude, the lack of certain nutritions and certain foods, the thing that it could do to your attitude. And that is something that is very important that people overlook on a continuous basis. So I just want to shout her out for mentioning that. And, you know, maybe when I open up this space, we could do some things, get some grants, make some money, you know? Culinary Go Green too.
Wow, that's the program and that's the wave. Listen, whatever y'all do, make sure Anaya A is involved. I know that because I'm coming for all of you Negroes. Just kidding, laugh out loud. But you already know I would love to be a part of everything going on. Dana has her hand up. And just real quick, guys, we are going to shut down. And Dana, this is going to be the last comment. And then we're going to shut down. The reason being is I just looked at the time. And I don't know if you all are aware, but I do the Anaya A show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. And I actually would like to know if anybody wants to transfer over to the Anaya A show. We'll take a break at about 8:20. If you want to join me at 8:30 to talk about some of these things on the Anaya A show, where we go on Facebook, Instagram, and again on YouTube, feel free to let me know, because I would love to transfer this conversation. But a lot of my viewers are scheduled at 8:30. They know I'm coming on at that time. Dana, you are the last comment, but I would love, again, for all of you to participate at 8:30. We'll take a hard break and come right back. Dana, you're up, beautiful.
Hey, so I just wanted to piggyback off of those two amazing women that just came before me. So 2 things. I think that collaboration between you two is going to be amazing, because now you are applying pressure in a totally different way. Ty, I don't know if you saw my comment here, and I don't know if you have the pathway to your event space, but I provided you with the resource. I'm a part of this amazing group. It's called Event Space Secrets. They tell you how to not just have one event space, but multiple. So now you're not only creating you know, a community, but you're also creating income for yourself. And then you can train other people. You're training those young people too. It's almost like having like an Airbnb, right? But it's an event space. And I think just having that nutritional factor in there is gonna, this is the second thing that I wanted to say. Having that nutritional factor makes us hold our government accountable, because it's so, guys, I lived in the city and now I live where there's nothing but farms around me. This only happens in our cities. We have to apply the pressure to say, okay, it's cool, we got a bodega here, but we don't need another one right across the street. We don't need to send our babies to school on sugar in the morning, and then the teachers are saying they're not paying attention. Let's understand how this systemic, this is the systemic piece that we have to make sure is understood, because it impacts economics. I'm a financial guru, but this is where it starts, right? So we are able to apply that pressure with an amazing woman like Anaya A, who has some, you know, leverage in the communities. That's going to help change exactly what you ladies are talking about. And in that, so many other pieces are going to come out. I see things that David can add. I see things that Denise can add. And that's why this collectively is so vitally important. It's so vitally important that we all share our gifts in this way. Imagine, I mean, you talk about a Black Wall Street. Nah, man. We're talking about a global Black movement.
Yes! And that's the bottom line. She said it.
Amen.
Black movement. You know, at this time, we're going to shut it down. But like I said, we'll be back on at 8:30. I'm talking about that was the perfect end to a powerful segment. We didn't even really get into Forex, Bitcoining, or the stock market, or, you know, things that I even did this week. But we will be back with that next week, 6:30 p.m. Wednesday night. You know, this week, I encourage you all, before we do our shutdown, and, you know, anybody else, leave a comment here or literally let me know if you want to join me at 8:30, because like I said, I feel like bringing this conversation to Facebook, Instagram, etc., is going to change the wave, right? Global Black movement. Look at that. We have people from all corners of the world. And at this time, we're going to shut it down, like I said, but we'll be back in just a few minutes. The reason why this is so imperative for us to have this conversation on tonight is because, like I said, you all don't know that I spend the majority of my week in conversations with each of you individually. And when I'm speaking with you, I'm gathering information, and then I'm thinking, what's the best way to have the meeting on Wednesday? How can we improve ourselves, empower ourselves, educate ourselves, with the idea that it's not just money, 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 but it's also motivation. It's also community. And it worked out so perfectly tonight. There is information being circulated on the group message, but also, as you all know, this recording goes into YouTube. I edit it. Well, really, I just put the information in. If y'all got some editors on deck, David, then please feel free to do what you want, chop it up. Whenever you do it, hit your girl up, send it to me, send it in our group messages. Don't forget, for those that are watching out there in the universe, the number to reach us on is 347-617-6873. Make sure you have WhatsApp, tell a friend. Mimi, I know we're gonna come back with you for sure later, and Steph, because we have some stuff that we have to talk about for sure. And then I think we hit everything on the head. In regards to the politicians, let's go back there real quick, right before we shut down. In regards to the politicians, I'm glad that Dana circled right back to it. Because of my leverage, because of the ability to get in these politicians' faces, if we want, this is what we can do. Oh, ASEA is also a part of a movement, right, that has gotten the attention, of several politicians and the media. If we want, what we can further do is put a package together and demand what we want as a collective. There is no such thing, right, as being too afraid. Like for me, I tell these politicians, and I don't know if you all know, but real quick, how I do what I do is just not being afraid. I chased Mayor de Blasio down City Hall steps one day, and I got a whole apartment. after they really try to screw your girl over, and he was live on Facebook and he didn't want that. Okay, amen. I'll send that to y'all if you want to see. Praise God. But it wasn't like I was trying to do something bad to him, but they kept ignoring my needs. And at the end of the day, my request was, why is it that you guys are ignoring a woman that you've left hanging, literally? Thank you, Ty, for the high five. So with that being said, this week for your homework assignment, just think about your needs, think about what you want to invest in, start doing your research, share as much information in our group chat on WhatsApp, and literally let's come back together with an idea of how we can get in these politicians' faces too. And I'm sharing this live and publicly because that's one thing that they hate. But because of because they know I know certain things and certain people, they're like, Anaya, hey, can we have a conversation? Yes, we can. But don't try to ignore our needs, because we'll be back with a whole freaking team. And that's what they don't want to see. But you know what? We hit the points tonight and we have to make a difference. So we're going to do our shutdown. I don't know if you all remember how we shut it down every time. Again, if you want to join me at 8:30, feel free to let me know, and let's keep this thing going tonight. We do this affirmation, which literally was started when I think I was interviewing Denise, and she's on live as well. I don't know if I unmute her, if she can definitely hear me for sure. But Davey was in the background. I was like, Lord,
yes,
watch TV, praise God. Okay,
yes.
She's back with us. So Denise is our registered like mental health guru when it comes to this vibrational sexiness, whatever you want to, Reiki and all that stuff. I know I'm a mess, y'all. But when we were doing our interviews a couple of times, it came to me that having that relaxation and that ability to shut down and meditate is a beautiful thing. And of course, the affirmations, because growing up, nobody ever said I was beautiful. Nobody ever showed me real love. Matter of fact, I was picked on and bullied, but I knew how to fight. So instead of coming back with love, I was coming back with like pens and knives and all of that. But that's another story. But we are going to teach ourselves. Yes, I see a girl. You talking to a Zoe, a Haitian woman from New York. Ain't nobody got time for that. But praise the Lord. I'm a better person in a better space. But we're going to do our affirmations, and then we'll be back next week. So ready for this? Everybody, you can close your eyes if you want to, or keep your eyes open. Everybody on social media land, you can do the same thing. Get into the center of yourself. And then next week, hopefully we'll have Denise with her bowl. But tonight, we're just going to do what we do. And we're going to center ourselves. And we're going to close our eyes.
We can possibly do the bowl now if you want. I might be able to do it.
You think so? Because we have just a couple of minutes and then we go into the show.
Hold on. I'm running. Hold on. I don't know if it'll be quiet enough long enough, but.
Okay. We have two.
Yes.
David, you are a mess. Well,
everyone else is, and he's like, Mommy.
I know. David has a whole monster up. Lord, that's not meditation, David. That is not our meditation piece.
Nah, monsters, Baby Yoda.
Okay, I don't even know who that is because I'm not into.
I love Baby Yoda.
Okay, hi Yoda. Denise, did we get the bowl?
Yes, we got it.
Perfect.
All right.
So Denise, I'm gonna just do my quick affirmations, and you do the bowl, and we shut it
at the same time. Okay.
Matter of fact, that would be beautiful.
All right.
Perfect. All right, guys, we're gonna do the Tibetan bowl, Tibetan bowl, as we do the affirmations. Get into the center of yourself. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Upstairs.
Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're breathing in through your nose and as you listen to the bowl in the background, imagine where you want to be in your life, what the next 5 years look like, what the next 5 days look like. And say, either out loud or in your spirit, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am wonderfully made.
I am wonderfully made.
I want to eat it.
Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I am amazing.
I am amazing.
Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. My community is already rich.
My community is already rich.
My family is already healthy.
My family is already healthy.
My credit score is at 800. I have everything I need.
I have everything I need.
I am great. My community is great.
My community is great.
I will own real estate.
I will own more real estate.
I am financially free.
I am financially free.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My community matters.
My community matters.
I am healthy.
But still, mommy. Mommy,
And that concludes tonight's ECI meeting. What you all just did was you participated with myself and Denise with her Tibetan Bowl, which she will do another time for you to experience it in its fullness. But when we speak things into existence and when we affirm certain things about ourselves and the people around us, we begin to see a manifestation of greatness. I know because it's been happening with me for the past few months. And just to let you know, my credit score has gone up and I've been able to invest in certain areas. And I feel like God is really with me and with us. It's all about us. So I'm giving you things that I do because I know in manifesting it, it's going to take us a very long way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stay in touch. Join us on that WhatsApp chat. We will be back in just a few minutes for the Anaya A show. And I want to be able to shout all of you out. So if you want to be a part, let me know. See you guys shortly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Connect with each other.
Take care, y'all.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Denise. Denise, we're going to get you to do
See you
it.
guys later. Love y'all. ECI. You know the
Yes.
vibes.
everybody.
Stay in touch and come on Wednesday morning for the meditation. Whoever can make
Wednesday
it.
morning. What time? Send it to the group chat. I want to
Okay.
come.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh, I would love to come. Yeah. Send it to the group chat.
All right. Thank you, Asia. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, David. Thank you, Mama Brenda. Thank you, Colors. Thank you, Dana. The Urban Cinderella. Good night. See you in a few. Bye.
I can't get